cancer. National Cancer Awareness Day was first announced by the Indian Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harsh Vardhan, in September 2014, and that 7th November will be observed as National Cancer Awareness Day every year to generate awareness about early detection and avoid leading cancer-causing lifestyles. Harsh Vardhan launched a state level of cancer control, encouraged early detection and research into curing cancer. National Cancer Awareness Day also encourages people to report to government hospitals and municipal clinics for a free screening. Information booklets are also circulated to generate awareness on how to avoid getting cancer and to look for signs of early symptoms. Now, when we talk about looking for signs of early symptoms, let's take a look at the breast cancer. It is always advised that women or ladies should always pipette their breast site to find out if there are any lumps. Now, if you feel pain on any part of your breast, whether the left or the right, see a doctor. If the pain persists and then you feel a lump, see out there, make sure you always touch your breast. You raise your hands up, touch from the armpit side to your breast level. Touch everywhere. Look out for lumps. If you notice any lump, no matter how minute it is, please rush to the hospital and see a doctor. And for the men, we have prostate cancer, we have colon cancer, we have a whole lot of cancers. Always do a regular checkup. For the men, see your doctor on regular basis. Go for screening. Go for screening. Also for the ladies, we have the cervical cancer. Go for screening. Do a pap smear test or a pap smear screening to check if you have any form of or any issue or whatever may be down there. Early detection, they say, helps a lot. So if your doctor notices anything, they will be fast to place you on drugs so as not to allow the cancer spread. And yes, if it has spread, they will let you know what's next to do. So as we bring this cancer awareness to you just this morning, make sure you rush to any clinic around you or hospital around you and go for screening. It really doesn't take much, and I know it doesn't cost much because I do it. And then if you don't want to go to the hospital, you want to do it on your own, fine, you can. Just lay on the bed, make sure you're well relaxed, and then pipette your boobs side. Don't forget, starting from your armpits. Some persons might have boil on their armpit and they think, oh, it's just a boil, not knowing that it is early symptom of cancer, breast cancer. So check your body every now and then. Visit the hospital regularly and make sure that you keep your undies, your inner wears clean. They have to be clean. Wash with hot water and salt. Make sure they are very, very clean. And sun. Don't wash and keep, most of you wash and keep in your bathroom. It is wrong. It is very wrong. No ventilation, no air. The germs are still there. And some of you wash with cold water. I'm talking about both men and women. You wash with cold water, which is very wrong. The underpart needs to be thoroughly washed with hot water and salt. You can just bring them out one day and just soak with hot water and salt, and after washing, sun them outside. Sun dry your undies. That's the best part. Let's assume there are no, or the sun did not come out on that day and they are dried. Then use your hot iron and iron it. It kills the germs that may be lingering in any part of your undies. So if you do this, you discover that you are on a road to healthy living. So I'll drop it there on Cancer Awareness Day. And there's one that also attracted me. It has to do with the dogs. It is National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day. It has to do with your pets. Now, most of you have dogs in your houses. You keep them as pets. How often do you take them to the hospital for regular checkups? Do you see signs, or do you notice signs and then you run to the hospital, or you just keep them there because they are pets? Then you think they cannot hurt you? Of course they can hurt you. They can. Now let's look at the lymphoma. It is one of the most common forms of canine cancer. And when our furry friends are suffering from this disease, Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day on November 7 is a great way to honor our dogs. Recognizing National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day, celebrated on November 7, is a good place to start. The day reminds us to stay vigilant and to check our dogs regularly so that we can potentially head off any problems before they arise. You can curb any problem before they arise, and that's because you are on the lookout for your dogs. So take your dogs as humans because they live with you and you wouldn't want anything to happen to them. I remember a time a friend of mine lost her dog. She cried. And I'm like, oh, so dogs are... She said, yeah, the dog is like a human, like a sister, like a brother, like a family member to me. So you see the impact these dogs have on human, and you don't want to take care of them. You see, when they die, you start showing that you care. Take care of them now that they are alive. So let's look out for these forms of cancer. Okay, the earlier, the better. So I'll drop it on national celebration, and I hope these you take them into serious consideration. Okay, so from the Senate table, we have this new bill prescribing up to 14 years in prison for teachers and lecturers found guilty of sexually harassing students in tertiary institutions. This is a long-awaited bill. Yes, and we're still waiting for the president to put a sign and a stamp on it so that it can be passed into law. We're going to talk more about this when our analyst comes on. But for me, I would say it's a good way to start. At least some of these lecturers that tell you, you have to do this before I give you your grade. Even when you pass their courses, they tell you, you have to play by my rule before I give you all, before I let you go. Is it now Pharaoh, let my people go? So I think this is actually in the right direction. It is. For these lecturers, this kind of lecturers, to be checkmate. So like I said, we'll talk more about it when our analysts come. On that note, I'll drop this here and go for a very quick break. When we return, to be time for papers, and our analysts will dissect every paper we have today. Stay with us.